I don't want to be a mech potato, so I'm going to learn from Old Bob. He's going to teach me what I need to know. So everyone, let's go.
Welcome back, Mech Warriors. This is OLDBOB'10025 with the second part of the skill tree series I'll be making. Now, the first part was to explain about the skill tree and why they did it and all the different aspects of it, and then how the skill point system kind of works as far as currency. I know it's a little bit daunting and confusing, but if you can read the patch notes again, and it kind of explains there as well too. The second video here, I'm going to actually go into the skill tree and show you how it affects your mech and what it does and everything. So let's get started here. First, I have a Hunchback, which is I have a Hunchback 4G, which I definitely love this mech. It does really well on the battlefield. On average, probably about 500 to 600 points of damage, depending, and only have 80 out of 91 skill points. So in order to get the skill point system, you have to go to your mech itself, and then go to skills. First things first, you should load out your mech itself and kind of figure out like what you want to do with it and everything. So this is how I have it set up for this guy. And as I explained before, you have firepower, survivability, mobility, jump jets, operations, sensors, and auxiliary. Each one has specific nodes that you can use for your mech itself. So let's go over those. Mainly what I do is I kind of figure out everything about weapons. I use weapons last because all this other stuff I think is more important, especially the survivability tree. And then if I need, depending on my heat management, how it works out from mech operations, and then sensor systems if I need radar derp or ECM as well too. So every time you go ahead and pick a skill, you have skill points or nodes active. I have 80 out of 91. In order to actually get any type of skill points, you go to add skill points. Now you can either use your available skill points, which is I have 5,000, or you purchase skill points with the different GXP, HXP, or C bills and everything else. So I'm going to go, just give an example, I'm going to go do one skill point for my general skill points. Now for new players, they will not have this because they haven't actually had it before the system came out on May 16th. So let's go purchase just one skill point. Just do one, boom, costs one, I lose one, but I allocate one skill point to my mech itself. And I have one skill point to use, and I'm going to get, let's say, quick ignition. Boom, it's right there. Apply changes. And now that's going to add an extra -7% to my time to go ahead and go upstart my mech when I overheat. That's one method. Second method is actually use general XP, which you get through every single match, or XP normally that you get through every single match for your mech itself. These are called mech experience points, general experience points, which you get through every match, historical experience points, which is your 3 variants. You probably won't have that for new players, and then you have to use C bills as well. So let's go and use general XP. It comes out with the purchase skill point system here, and it's going to be 45,000 C bills and 800 XP or GXP to get one skill point. So now since I have 799, obviously kind of sucks, but not one more point. I'm not going to have 800 skill points to get one skill point because I can't use that, so I can't use that there. But I do have a lot of general XP, so I'm going to use one skill point. That's going to cost me 800 GXP with 45,000 C bills. When I have another one, it's going to just add up there. So if I want to get 10 more, because that's what I need for this mech, it costs me 450,000 and 8,000 GXP. Now the GXP aspect, that is a little bit expensive to go and use, for the simple fact is you don't get a lot of GXP in game per match, but you do get a lot of XP. XP, you're going to average about 1,200 to about 1,600 depending on how you play the game, or even more if you win the game itself. And then GXP is a little more, it's like a 10th, I believe. I don't know what the exact math is, and all the math people, all the math mech warriors, please go ahead and put it down below according to the formula there, or use historical XP for your mechs with the 3 different variants. And then you get, all I need is 10, so go ahead and do 10. That's cost me 450,000, 8,000 GXP, and I get 10 extra points. Now it's going to have 81 out of 91, and then out of 237. Now I can have 200 nodes unlocked, which will mean, give an example here if I can find it. Let's say, I don't know if I have an example here. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, I don't have any nodes unlocked and not done, so let's go do that. let's say I want to have range. I'm going to apply that, but then I'm going to go ahead and take that off and use it for this range. Okay, and apply that one. So now I have 83 nodes unlocked, but I only have 82. So basically, I'll go ahead and, if I want to unlock that again, it'll cost me 400, either GXP or at Mech XP to go and unlock. You have a choice if you want to go and do that. So let's unlock that again. You have XP or GXP to go and unlock those nodes once again once you do it. Now, that aspect I don't like, because I'm gonna fool around with my mech and do a whole bunch of different things, and I shouldn't have to spend XP to go ahead and unlock that node again. I don't like that person. That's the 70-30 thing I was telling you about, and I'm kind of pissed off about that. But that's how it works, and that's how I'm gonna have to adapt to it. Now, it will cost you 400 GXP or 400 XP. Normally, you want to spend 400 XP. If you don't have the XP and you really need that range module, you can use GXP to go ahead and unlock it. Now, that cost me 400 there, or if I unlock it there, click the right side and use 400 XP. So let's not even use those. Okay, let's get out there. So I have 81 nodes. So when you go pick your nodes, you have, if you see the, when I pick the top portion, it'll show exactly what unlocks for all the different nodes. So if this one unlocks everything, obviously that's going to happen. So if I click this one, if I click it off, all those nodes will go out. So all those are out now. But since I haven't saved anything yet, it's okay. That's fine. It won't cost me anything to go respec those or to go get those once again. Here, okay, here we go. And getting up to 81. Yep, that's cost 1. Never mind. Let's not do that one there. Velocity and heat gen cooldown, and that's it. So those will show you all the different nodes that are connected to that. I think I actually spent too much there, but that's okay. I don't really mind that. So, and then if I want to have more nodes, it will show you this one. These ones are connected. This is connected to that one. If I wanted to, I could go this way, or I could go this way if I wanted to get this heat gen 14 negative 0.75% if I wanted to. That's how that kind of works. So it will either unlock or lock nodes. Now, obviously, all the ones that have a little padlock, those are locked up. I can't use those until I spend skill points to use those. So I'm going to go ahead and get another cooldown, That'll cost me 3 allocated skill points. I'm going to apply the changes. Apply those there. Now it's going to show me on the right hand side all the different things of what all my different stuff do. It's like structure bonus plus 35%, fall damage negative 50%, heat dissipation plus 4%, and this is what you kind of look at when you go ahead and when you design your mech, what different bonuses you want to have for your mech itself. Now, as far as that's just a weapons tree. As far as the survival tree, I highly recommend this if you got a tanky mech. One of the things I kind of like that they did was the skill points. If I'm working on skill points and I go to loadout, I can see what my skill points do as far as the heat, cooldown, max range, optimal range, projectile speed, etc. I can see what they do in game. And also all the armor quirks that I put in there, plus 11 front, plus 1 top or head, basically 29 right torso. What is that? 8 and 8 that torso. Now, basically, when you go ahead and pick your mechs and go and design your mechs, what I generally kind of do for myself is I go, what kind of mech has really cool right and left arm quirks or base armor quirks, and I kind of base off the quirks, and then find out if I need to make that a mech, a tank mech, or a quick mech, or what have you, basically. So let's go back here, back to the 4G right there. Excuse me. So the skills, that's how kind of skills work per se, and then you pick your armor, your agility. Now, since I know the Hunchback 4J, which you test out all your mechs in the testing grounds and see how your torso twists, see your range of motion, and see if you actually really need to spend any points in agility. See if you need. Now, the Hunchbacks are tanks, so I kind of put more in armor structure than I did like anything else. Now, remember, you only have up to 91 nodes to use. You can have 200 nodes already unlocked if you wanted to. That way, every time you actually respec your mech or go ahead and redo your mech, those are already done. You'd have to spend skill points, and you just have to spend XP to go ahead and unlock those once again. Now, mobility, like I said, I go in the testing ground, kind of fool around and see how it moves, see how it, torso twist, see if I need to put any points into acceleration, deceleration, torso speed, or anything else like that. And that's what I do for the mobility tree. The jump jets, obviously, I don't use this that much. A lot of people think it's good. I'm kind of like iffy on that. I had to really test it out. I haven't really done much like with that. Mech operations, the same thing. If I know my mech's not gonna overheat, I won't worry about this that much. So the quick ignition, and then for mechs that are laser boats and everything else, you want to spend a lot of points in mech operations, because your cool run will decrease the heat, will increase the heat dissipation of your heat sink. So basically, you cool down faster. Then heat containment, you actually have a higher threshold of heat. So basically, that's what it does. And then also too, you have quick ignition. So if you do overheat, you won't have to worry about it. And generally, if you're playing a hot mech, you want to put more points in mech operations than like anything else. With sensors, excuse me, wow. With sensors, God, I got a frog in my throat here. With with sensors, you want to figure out if you're an ECM mech, if you're a normal if you're a normal mech. Now, the best tree to go down, this one here, if you see how it locks there, is this side, because what you can do is you have 1, 2, and 3 radar derps compared to 1. Let's go in there. Compared to 1 and 2 on this side. So if you're ever gonna just play a normal mech, I would actually recommend going the sensor tree, going down this side, then actually going down this side, because you can get 60% instead of just a 40% on this side. But if you're playing a ECM mech, it's a little bit different though, because you go down to ECM, you have to go down this tree here and then down this tree here to get the ECMs. You really don't need radar derp for it, but if you wanted to, cool, you know. And just all depends like what you want to do for your mech itself. The customization for this game is absolutely amazing now. I mean, I have fun actually customizing mechs, kind of figure out what I need to do for the mechs, and then actually play testing them, and then actually redo them again. And then you have the miscellaneous, which is the consumable slots, UAV like durations, and kind of goes down from there of what you want to go and do. Now, if you're playing a light mech, you can just go down this tree and just get the capture assist, which helps in different games, say like Assault or different other ones. You could go and capture the different points of interest on the map really quickly. That's what you want. And also they have a narc, the narc one, which I think is only one. Is that right? Yeah, they have 2. So you have to go down this tree and then go down this tree in order to go get those. If you're playing a narc mech, let's say the Raven, you could go use that to go get to those points. So it just all depends how you want to customize your mech. Like I said, what I suggest is you jump in, go to here, you jump into the testing ground, and you can go to any type of map that you want to go to. Go to any map, test out how your mech's gonna run in those maps, how your heat's gonna go. Normally, I go through River City and then test out my heating scale through that, because that's kind of like a neutral zone there. And then figure out if I'm overheating there, I'm going to definitely overheat on Terra Firma. I'm going to overheat on different other maps. If I'm not overheating and I don't have to worry about it, then I decide on my skill tree, I don't need mech operations. I don't need this. I don't need that much of it. If I'm torso twisting fine, running fine, acceleration, deceleration fine, I don't have to put many points in agility. And then I can spend them on armor or weapons or actually sensors, because I need the radar derp for that. And then also consumables if I want to do that as well. So I could customize my mech the way I want to do it, depending on the mech that you're using. So, okay, so we got to that point there. Now, in order to go change historical XP, which is this one here, historical XP to the to that one. All I have is 790 for my other mechs. Share between all Hunchback 4Gs. I only have one Hunchback 4G, which I never did. So you can change this out to 790 and then transfer XP. Boom. That changes out. So now my Hunchback now has 1,589 XP to go and use. So use the add XP. My mech experience for that mech is 1,589. So I'm only gonna do one skill point at 45,800 skill points. Or mech XP, hit OK, hit that, and then now I have 6 more skill points to use. So I'm gonna go, let's see what I want to do here. I'm probably gonna put it more into this tree here. I need magazine capacity because I saved the changes. I forgot about this one. I want magazine capacity because I'm using a autocannon 20, which requires a lot of them. So I'm gonna use that. So now I only have 6 left, so now 84. So I'm gonna go, because I don't use lasers that much. I only have 3 medium lasers. You gotta decide, well, like when you have your mech as well too, how you want to design it. So I'm gonna go to range, because I want to get this velocity quirk for the AC-20, and that's basically used for ballistics, missiles, and PPC like weaponry. So when you design like a ER PPC mech, you want to have the PPC like weaponry. When you design your mech, you want to decide on skill tree. Study the skill tree. It only takes 5 to 8 mechs to kind of get used to it and figure out what you want to do with it and how the tree works. Really, my friends, it is really easy to go and use. I don't know why people are crying about it, but it is really easy to use this. It's a change. Change is always bad, don't get me wrong. And you know, you're not going to have the super easy button kill mech anymore. You have to actually work towards it now. And it's a matter of how you design your mech. I mean, in about, I don't know, 2 weeks from now, there's going to be the meta that's going to be coming out. The super designed mech that's going to kill everything. It's going to be out there. Just play with it and play with the skill tree. It's really easy to use and go from there. So I want to go ahead and click that, get that, and I want to get velocity. So now I have two more skill points, because I already had this already done. So I don't have to worry about the skill points being used. It's already done. It's already part of my skill nodes unlocked. So I'm gonna go to, let's see, I need 2 skill points. I need 400 XP, which I don't have. So I'm gonna have to unequip this, use my GXP, because I didn't have 400 XP. I only have 389. So I'm gonna have to do the GXP, which I can now. Click that, and velocity. Okay, and let's see. I want to cool down. I actually want to get velocity a little bit more. Unfortunately, it's behind these node walls, which I can't really get to. So I'm going to get to cooldown. I'm going to go over here and then click. I want hard break. Actually, kinetic burst. And with that one, I want hard break, because I want to go to break easier. I have 1 skill point left, because I'm at 90 to 91. So I'm going to find out what I want to do. Now, if I actually go down this tree, I get improved gyros, which it's okay. It's not too bad. Or speed retention when you lose a leg. Whoopee. And the hill climb, because I can't really get to the major ones I want to get to, because I have to go through 2 of them in order to get the ones that I want to go and have. Let's say it's a cool run or something. So I got to this point here. As far as sensors, could pick sensor range. That's not too bad. And oh, okay, here we go. I'll take a consumable slot. Boom, right there. So that's done. That's my 6 points. I'm 91 out of 90, and it sets it right there. Now I had to use 400 GXP for the one that's way over here, for the range. For this one here, for that one, I couldn't use a normal mech XP because I didn't have enough, because I had to use 400 GXP. So I'm going to apply the changes. Oh, another thing too, when you change your mech itself, this will actually come up as green, as in it added different things to it. Red, I don't know if red's here. Let's see here. Red will be, it's not here actually, because I haven't saved it. But it will come up red as your change, and then green as your change as well. Obviously red bad, green positive. So that's how that would work. So when you kind of design your mech and everything else, you kind of look at those. So I'm going to go apply changes. Click that, and then go to loadout. Now, since I have a additional consumable slot, I'm going to pick my additional slot. It's right here, empty slot. So I want to get another UAV. Actually, I want an airstrike. I already have one equipped. Now, because I can't equip another airstrike because my skills won't allow me to, let's go auxiliary here. I only have one extra consumable slot, which will be one of each: cool shot, strike, or UAV. Now, if I picked let's see, is it here? No. Elbows. Small slot. If I picked extra UAV, I could have 2 UAVs. So I have to go down the slot list in order to go pick those. So let's go back to my loadout here. Now I can have only one of those. So I'm going to pick UAV, because UAV is pretty useful for the team. That's a team game, obviously. Okay, so now I have 2. My loadout is set up, so now I have all my different stuff. Now, in order to see all your different skills that you have on your mech, you go here, and you check this out. Now, I know it's kind of daunting for a new player. It's like, wow, I have all this kind of stuff. You know, one thing I think PGI should do, this is part of my 30%, is only show stuff that you really have equipped. Like, say, AC2. I don't have AC2s on this. I don't have an AC10. Gauss rifle, they should take those out. The stuff that's not actually acquired for your mech itself, like say weapon quirks, ammo capacity, MG ammo capacity. Now, if I put a MG on it, sure, they could put a plus 400 on there if they wanted to. So that's one thing PGI should do. But obviously, hopefully they will. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they will. It just all depends. So let's go to skills again. Okay, so this is how the skill tree works. Now, like I said, it's daunting at first. I usually go through the armor. I go through the mech itself, and I go on the testing ground, see how it works first. But if it has a lot of quirks for armor, I'll add to it, make it into a better tank. Or I won't even spend that many points on armor quirks and use it for other things. If it moves kind of sluggish, like say some clan mechs, like the Kodiak, I'll go to the agility, and then I'll adjust it through the agility tree. If I need, actually, if it overheats a lot, I'll go through mech operations, because I know I'm going to shut down. I'm going to have cool run, which is going to dissipate heat a lot faster. And then also, I'm going to go and have heat containment, which my threshold for heat will be way up. It'll be way up there. So that's how you got to really design your mechs. This is just a quick simple thing. And then obviously like sensor systems, because you want to have radar derp. The best tree to go through is this one here, because it has three radar derps compared to only 2 on this side. And plus also, let's see, target decay, that's okay. Then also too, like if you're running this type of one here, you only get 1 target decay, which is mainly only used for LR mechs. And if you're not an LR mech, you won't have to worry about it, and you go down through there. So let's go through. I'm gonna go show you like one of my other ones I have here, if I can find it here. Okay, I adjusted my Death 7. Here we go for the loadout. Now this mech here, I know about the missile tree. I'm trying something else with this mech. Normally the 4J use missiles because it has really good missile quirks, but I tried this and it actually works pretty well. So I went down and adjusted these here. Now see how these I could spend my points on again if I wanted to, because these are already unlocked. I have 108 out of 237 already unlocked. I went through and just readjusted my stuff. I didn't want that again, so I had to adjust my skill points. Okay, so went over and I got a lot of these here. Then I got a lot of these here, because now I switch from. Don't even need that one there. See, got to go through your mechs and go figure out like what you want to do. So let's go pick. I have an extra one, so I'm gonna pick cooldown. Here we go. Because I don't have a skill point, so it's gonna show in red. I have to add another skill point, which I'll add through my normal experience points. I'll just add 1. Cost me 45, 800. Boom, boom. There you go. Now I have that skill point. Apply changes. Because I don't need the missile quirks like anymore. They are unlocked. So if I want to unlock the missile quirks when I design the mech again into a different build, it'll cost me 1, 2, 3, 4. It cost me 1,600 to go ahead and go and do that. Well, actually this one too, or these two. It cost me 1,600 to go and do that again, and then I'll take these out and then go down the listing through here. Will actually cost me a little bit more. What, 2,400? Cost me that much to go ahead and bring it back into the missile build that I want to go do. But since I'm using a laser build for this mech, I went and designed it like this. So this is a Hunchback 4J with the laser quirks and everything else. Now the Hunchbacks are really good at turning, so I didn't really need a lot of actually agility. I just got like the burst because I wanted to go ahead and take off faster. That gives me plus 3.5%. And I don't really overheat that much with this mech as well. And then I kind of just went just a little bit like into these, not too much. And then I got obviously the radar tree derp. I don't need target decay anymore because I'm not actually using a missile mech. So I will actually use that for something else. So now I need another skill point in order to go and use that. And I have to do another one. Click that. Skill point. Because I took off a skill point in order to use it somewhere else. So now see how that has plus 14. That's the change that I did. The last change will be here. Will be in red. So my target decay like went away. So I want to use it on weaponry, and I will get maybe cool. No, since I'm laser boat more, probably gonna put it into the mech operations. So let's go find speed retention quick. I'm gonna put it into quick ignition. I want to go put it here. So I'm going to use my normal XP because GXP is a lot harder to go gain, and you only use it if you really, really need to. You can use quick ignition on the XP part, which costs me 400. Apply the changes and go from there. So now I have a better quick ignition. Now when the change comes, oh, didn't actually save it there for green. Sorry about that. So now I have 87 out of 91. So now I need to go ahead and figure out, okay, I need 4 more skill points. So I'm just going to add it there. 4 more skill points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add. I'm using those through the oh, that's general skill points. I'm sorry. I'm going to use through my mech experience points. It's going to cost me a little bit of money, but it'll be worth it though, because I'm going to get this trained out. Cost me 180,000, which is pretty much 1 match and maybe 2 matches of your XP. So the progression of fighting your mechs and getting the XP and everything, it's not too bad. It's a little bit more of a grind, I think, from what they used to have, but it's not that bad per se. So since I'm laser boat, obviously I'm gonna hit heat gen and heat gen. That's gonna bring it down by what was that? 1.5%. And then I don't want cooldown. I'm not too concerned about cooldown because I don't want to overheat that much or quicker. And I'm gonna put more into. See, I have 2 more skill points left because my 89 out of 91. So I'm gonna put it more into gyros, hill climb, quick ignition, because I will probably actually overheat. Okay, that's 90. I have 1 more skill point left, and I'm gonna put it into. Don't really need sensor range. I'm gonna rely more on the light mechs for sensor operations than anything else. So I'm gonna put it more into my quirks and my armor structure. I want to get skeletal structure. I'm gonna open that one up with my mech XP, which is 800. Apply the changes. I only used 2 skill points and 800 like XP, which took my total for the XP for the mech. Then also have 3 skill points available. I have 111 out of 237. Totally kill your skill tree and do whatever you want to do to it. So we're going to respec skill tree. Now, only do this if you only have to. You're going to redo or redesign your mech. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. This does a whole tree, or you could just do it individually and do it that way. I prefer probably just kind of figure out like where your nodes are and what is unlocked through those nodes and just do it that way, then actually respecting the whole one, because you will mess up and get frustrated. It's like, where in the hell did I have that node, or didn't I have this one before? That kind of stuff. Don't do it unless you really have to. So let's go respec it real quick. Thank God I could revert it. So it took out like everything. So the only ones that I could go and use will be in this one. These are already unlocked, so I can use those skill points for everything else. So let's go here, there. Go down, that's unlocked. This is unlocked already. Don't have to spend any skill points. This is unlocked. That's unlocked. That's unlocked. So once you go ahead and do your 237 skill nodes, unlock them all. You don't have to go ahead and redo those again. If you want to respec your skill tree, just redo the whole thing. That's kind of like what you can do. So go there, go there, go there, there. These are all unlocked. I don't have to worry about these. Doesn't cost me anything going to use them. I'm gonna just kind of figure out like what I want to do. Let's see here. Now it's only the ones that you have to go spend that you had before. You got to spend your points on. So it's more of just, if you want to redesign the whole thing. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool and everything, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's for a lot of people, if they can't figure out the skill tree at first and they're crying about it on the forums, I wouldn't recommend them actually doing anything else like that as well. So I would actually just recommend just do it individually, then actually doing anything else. Like say I want to go change out this tree here. I want to go this way. Now it would still cost me skill points to use to go ahead and do it that way, but you have a better understanding and more control over what's happening like on your mech itself. So I already have these already unlocked, so I'm just go through. Go through. All these are unlocked. Those are all like unlocked. Let's see, one. Did I have target decay or target decay? Where in the hell is it? Nope. Okay, 91. For some reason, I forgot where that one was. There's so many skills, but so that's basically how that works. Just do it individually. I think I had nope. Yeah, had it there. Nope. 1 skill point for that. Okay. Anyways. So I forgot where I actually had the skill point. I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to take this here, which would be armor hardening for the XP one. Apply changes. Like I said, don't revert the whole skill tree. If you do, you're going to get boo-fooed and so confused over what's happening. It's just better just to do it individually and see where your skills are going to or what you need to go change. Now, it will cost you the grind. Like I said, it It will cost you the grind in order to do that kind of stuff. Now, there's a bunch of different guides, and I'll show you the links down below. BrioS brought them up on his channel. And I'll go ahead and like leave a link for him. A lot of different people have some really good guides. I'll go ahead and leave a guide on the bottom part of my channel there on the information about where all the different guides are for the skill trees offline, so you figure out like what you want to do, what your bonuses are. And I think there's an app. I'm not sure if there's an app or not, but I'll find it and put it in there for you guys as well. But like I said, don't get daunted like on this. It's not that hard. It's really easy to go and learn, and it's a change in MechWarrior Online. Change is scary, I guess. Change is scary like any type of game system, but it's real easy to go learn. This is after after about what 6 games, like 6 mechs, I'm like, okay, this is pretty easy. Okay, this is what this does. This is what this does. Don't have to worry about it. And plus, also, it explains on the bottom right hand side, increases your mech acceleration. Torso yaw increases maximum amount of mech and twists his torso. It tells you everything on the bottom right hand side, and that's how you go ahead and do that. So the recommendations are: do one skill at a time. Don't respect the whole tree unless you have to, and then basically just kind of figure out where your stuff needs to go. Use XP instead of GXP if you can. If you have to have that skill, use GXP, but GXP is a lot harder to go and get. And then also to test your mechs in the testing ground. If it has a bunch of armor quirks, you don't need armor tree. If you want to make it a tank and you're more tanky and more brawler, use armor tree. I always do the weapon tree last for a simple reason is this really doesn't matter that much compared to the other trees. At least I think. Oops. Okay, revert changes there. Revert changes. There we go. So, God, I hate it when I do that. So, test out your mech. If it turns pretty well, you don't need much agility. If it goes fast, it goes. Now for light mechs, obviously, agility is way important for your mechs themselves. But use the testing ground to figure out if you go fast, if you stop fast, if you turn fast. Don't worry about agility. If you jump and you need jump and you're Pop-Tarter, this might be a good tree for you. It might be pretty good, say, for the Vipers or for the Spiders. I'm going to test this out pretty soon and go see how that works. Mech operations, same thing. If you don't overheat a lot, you don't need much of this. You could probably put one thing in the startup sequence for the quick ignition if you wanted to. Maybe improve gyros or heat containment like the first 3, sure. And every little bit helps. Sensor systems, the same thing. Just go down the list here. You get 60 instead of actually 40 for the percentage of it not being seen. So that's my recommendations, everyone. It's easy. It's an easy system to go learn. Play with it. Don't get scared. It's really easy to learn. And I do appreciate everyone watching. This is episode 2 of the series for the Mech Potato Time for the skill tree. I'm going to have part 3 pretty soon in a couple days, hopefully. Maybe Friday, I'm not sure. It just all depends on how much work I have this week because I work like 16-hour days. So it gets kind of rough to go make videos and I'll be tired. But I'm going to do certain types of builds and show you kind of like how it works and what it does and everything. Mobility, gameplay theory, crafting, not crafting, but okay, theories on builds. I say the Kodiak. I'll try to do like a Kodiak build for everyone that actually will work out pretty well. So I do appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I know you can watch other YouTubers. Thank you for watching me. Really, it makes me feel good someone's watching me making these videos. I'll try to make more in the future for everyone too. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Target acquired.